So I decided to do the video on adding fractions with unlike denominators because I noticed that high school kids and college students also struggle with adding fractions or subtracting fractions. So basically, first thing what I want to point out is that I see students, what they do, like the misconception is that they can actually cancel 3 and 3 in this case. No, we can't do that when we have addition or subtraction. We can do it only when we have a multiplication. So basically, let's not do that. So what we're gonna do is we need to have a common denominator, right? So we wanna have two fractions with a common denominator, and then we can add numerators. So basically, I have 3 and 4, so the common denominator for those two is 12. How am I gonna get 12 here? So when I have 1/3, I'm gonna multiply this fraction by 4 over 4. The reason why we wanna multiply by 4 over 4 and not like 3 over 4 or 1 over 4 or 7 over 4 is because 4 divided by 4 is 1. And when we multiply 1/3 by 1, basically, it's not changing the value of the fraction. So even though we are multiplying by 4 over 4, it's just going to be equivalent fraction, it's still going to be the same value. So basically we have 1 times 4, let me change it here. So 1 times 4 is 4, and 3 times 4 is 12. So my first fraction is 4/12, which is equivalent to 1/3 actually. So now we want to have 12 here in denominator. So I'm going to take the second fraction and I'm going to multiply by 3/3 or 3 over 3, and we're gonna get 3 times 3, 9, and 4 times 3, 12. So now we have two fractions with a common denominator. We can just add the numerator, the denominator stays the same, so 4 plus 9 is 13, and we can simplify, but we can turn this fraction into mixed number. So 12 goes into 13 one time, and then 1 times 12 is 12. And how many more steps do we need to go to 13? One more, and 12 stays in a denominator. So we read this as a 1 and 1/12, okay? So think of this like and. So the method 2 I learned when I was in Slovakia, when I was growing up in Slovakia. This is how I was introduced to fractions and adding fractions. So basically we have common denominator for 3 and 4 is 12. Now I go a little backwards. I take 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 times 1 is 4, plus 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9, which equals 13 12ths, which is the same as 1 and 1/12. So let me just kind of like write it a little slower here. Just kind of like, let me show the steps a little better so you can see what I was doing. Okay. By the way, I showed this method at middle school to a couple of students and they really liked it. So if you like it, use it. So we have 3 times 4. So the common denominator is 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I'm just going to write down 4 here. And then the 1 stays here because we still have the 1. We can't just kind of ignore it. And then we have 12 divided by 4 is 3. And we still have this 1, 3 here, so we're not gonna ignore it, right? So that equals 4 times 1 is 4, and here, plus 3 times 3, 9, over 12, which equals 13 12ths, okay? So this is the second method. You can actually just write down the 4 and 3 here and then just multiply and add, or you can just in your head go 12 divided by 3 is 4 and 4 times 1 is 4, you know. Anyway, so the third method actually I got from one of my students, and also I noticed that one of the Common Core textbooks were using it. So I thought that I'm gonna show you too. So 3 times 4, 12. This is the common denominator. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to multiply. 4 times 1 is 4. Bring it over here, plus 3 times 3 is 9. All right, so, and that equals, as we know, 13 twelfths. Okay, so you have 3 different methods of adding fractions. Hopefully you like one of them, and if you know method 4 or 5, just please let me know. I really like to learn some more ways to add fractions if there are any.